welcome you all to Hope Unitarian Church. It's wonderful to see everybody today. I'm very excited that you're all here. Today is a very exciting day with a special presentation from our membership committee that will, what's the word we say? We do a new member ceremony. We're inaugurating new members. I'm the Reverend Justin McCreary, and I'm so excited that you're here with us this morning. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism, one of the things I always like to say is that we are covenantal. We're not creedal. This means something very simple and can be summed up with words attributed to Francis David. You need not think alike to love alike. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. Being rooted in love, we believe that all human beings should be treated with dignity and respect. On this hill, we seek hope, love, and justice together in community. And whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and wherever your circumstances in life take you, you are welcome here. I would invite you at this time to rise and embody your spirit in our hymn for gathering. You may be seated. And at this time, we will say our chalice lighting together. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Our invocation this morning comes from Reverend Scott Taylor. Come, let us listen with new ears. Do you hear it? That voice, so familiar, yet still so far. Less a longing and more a knowing, a whisper of something inside that seems to have known us longer than we've known it. Come, let us listen together. And at this time, we will say our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. And I will invite you again to rise and embody your spirit as we sing our opening hymn, hymn number 298. Wake. What? We're singing verses 1, 4, and 5. Oh, well, that's good to know. Thank you. 298, Wake Now My Senses. Please rise and embody your spirit as we sing verses, what? 1, 4, and 5. may be seated.
Good morning. My name is James Donovan. I have a few announcements for you this morning. Thanks to those of you who park in the far parking lot and let people who can't walk that far park in this close parking lot. I appreciate that. Feed the homeless. Feed the homeless. Every third Saturday of the month, we prepare a meal and serve it at the Day Center for the Homeless, and that's happening on that would be the 19th, correct? So if you'd like to help prepare and serve the meal, sign up on the sign-up sheet out in the fellowship hall after the service. We have our Band and Challenge Book Club. The next session of that's coming up next Sunday at 10 a.m. It's not too late to get a copy of Genderqueer and read it, so that's happening. And if you don't read it, show up anyway. We had a really good discussion, I thought, the first time. Pride Fest is next weekend. It used to be in June. It's now moved to October. So there'll be a parade, and Hope will have a table under a tent. And to volunteer to work that table, sign up in the fellowship hall. There'll be a Pride parade at 6 p.m. next Sunday. Now, Elizabeth Obel says that we need people to work 2 to 4 on Saturday and 4 to 6 on Sunday. No, only on Saturday. So we need people to person the table on Saturday afternoon. So, and Elizabeth is the person over there with the mask. So if you have questions, talk to her. I think, Kale, why don't you come talk about Trunk or Treat, and then I'll finish off with talking about the auction.
It is a beautiful day to be up here on the hill with friends, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. Another beautiful day is 3 weeks from today, just before Halloween. I think it's the 27th, but don't quote me on it. It's the Sunday before Halloween, and we're going to do the third Trunk or Treat up here. And it's a really fun time, and it doesn't take a lot of involvement. The Trunk or Treat is from 3 to 5, and people come up, and they go from trunk to trunk to trunk and get treats. So I'm going to be looking for some volunteers that will help direct people up the road. We have an inside plan if it's raining that day, and we're looking for 15 to 20 cars that will actually open their trunks and provide candy or whatever treats. And you generally decorate them, and you can get ideas off of Pinterest. We're going to have some more ideas next week. I was talking with Jacob this morning, and he said that he and Angela have this contest. They set like $15 and go to Dollar Tree, and that's what they decorate their trunks with, and then see who does the better one. So that's a great idea. So I'm going to be asking for donations for that. Also remember, we have the trunk out there with we're accepting candy and other donations. So when you go to Costco, when you go to Sam's, go ahead and do that so that everything doesn't come on the volunteers who provide their trunks. And next week I'll have sign-up sheets. Thank you.
Thank you, Kale. And we had, I think, somewhere near 1 million people show up last time. No, it was over 100 people, and it was amazing. I forgot to mention one thing about Pride. Today at 6 p.m., there is an interfaith Pride service at Boston Avenue United Methodist Church at about 13th in Boston. I grew up going to that church, and I only go in when one of my parents died, and that's already happened. No, I might go today. And I want to tell you, this is the time of year when we start telling you every Sunday that you shouldn't wait to sign up to attend the auction. This is a big event for us every year, and it's a big fundraiser, and it's a lot of fun. I would say that it's the most important event at Hope Unitarian Church every year. So I want to bring that to your attention. You can sign up online. If you need the link, I can share it with you. You should have gotten an email message that had the link to where you purchased the tickets. And remember, they say the early bird catches the worm. This year, Rebecca Jones and I decided that we would offer up an opportunity to win a $50 gift certificate to the In Spirit Unitarian Universalist gift shop and bookstore online. So you need to sign up by the end of next Sunday to get into that drawing. And, right now, I'd say the few of us who've signed up, our odds are pretty good that we're going to win this. So let's make this a better competition. So by 11:59 on October 13th, please sign up. We want you to donate your items for the auction, your money. We want you to offer to host parties that will be auctioned off. We'll have sign-up parties like we have in the past, where you pay a certain amount to get into a party. We'll have our gift card pull. You pay $20 and you get a gift card that's worth at least $25. So if you have gift cards, I know some of you have rewards that you can, from credit cards and other things that you can use to get gift cards. So do that. So if you're a part of a group here at the church, it would be nice if you guys would get together and offer something up for the auction together as a group. We're going to have food from Abuelos. Thank you, Jeff Dossett. We're going to have beer and wine, music by our own Christy over here on the piano. And maybe she'll recruit some other people to do it. Oh, you have? Carol, I'll bet. Yeah. And I'll be, the auctioneer again, hopefully for the last time, wearing my dad's ugly 1970 plaid jacket again. We need some volunteers to help work the auction, and I'll be hitting up some of you to help with that. And the only person who has an excuse to not show up, I think, is Angelica. I sure hope you can't make it to the auction. Thanks, everybody.
Good morning. My name is Gail Hawk, and I'm the chair of the membership committee. Today, we're going to be welcoming our new members who joined between March and September this year. We have a wonderful new group. This is our second membership recognition ceremony this year, and we will plan our first one for the next year in the first Sunday in April. I'm now going to invite all the members of the membership committee who are here today and the president of our board of trustees, David Tracy, to join us. David? David, do you want to come up?
Hi, I'm David Tracy, board president. Membership in this church is simple because all that is required is to sign the membership book and fill out a membership card. It is the simplest of times It is the most difficult of times. It's simple because we have no creed, nothing to be recited. But it's difficult because you're joining a community searching for truth where truth is elusive. Membership means you're part of a congregation that struggles for justice, knowing that struggle can be long. And membership means you've joined with people who strive to live in loving relationship with each other. We all know how difficult that can be. Some days more than others. We'd like to take a moment to welcome and greet the new members. I invite you to please come forward as you're willing and able. As I call your name, we'll offer some commemorative gifts and a rose. And if you would stand to the right of the podium, we'll gather you together. So congregation, please hold your applause until all members are present. Let's start with Tim and Gail Nagengast. And Sharon and John Robinson. Left, right. Barbara Lineshaw, you feel free to stay where you are and just raise your hand, let us know. Oh, she's coming up. That's awesome. Tia Kramer. There you are. We have two people who are not here with us today, but you'll recognize the Sheehans, Allie and Joe Sheehan, because they're the ones with 6 children in tow. So you can greet them on their next visit to Hope. Is that everyone? I sort of skipped around on the list. I think that's everyone. Joining a church is but a beginning for both the church and the new members. Each new member brings unique joys and sorrows, skills and abilities, thoughts and beliefs to our community. With every new member, we become a new congregation. Please know that churches are not perfect. A time may come when the church disappoints you. A time may come when, through action or inaction, you fail the church. Please know that the covenant between us offers the hope of healing as long as we stay in relation with each other. The power of covenant does not mean it does not matter what happened. It does assert, though, that what is important is what happens next. You are now a part of us, and we of you. May our days together be joyous. And now the congregation will take part in this ceremony by welcoming our new members and reciting the new member blessing, which you'll find behind me on the slide. And then new members will respond, "I have," at the appropriate time. So congregation, friends, you've joined our church by placing your names alongside ours in our membership book. Have you come of your own free will to live in covenant with us and to move together with us into the future with hope and vision? Your turn? I have, okay. We, the members of Hope Unitarian Church, welcome you to join us in the journey of life. We covenant to walk with you in serial love and with service to one another as our law. We will live with you in peace, seek the truth in love, and help one another that we might be a blessing to you as you bless us with your presence. And now we have a special song to sing to the new members.
Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself one of the family. We talk to you so strong. It's clear we're going to get along. Consider yourself well lived. Consider yourself part of the family.
welcome our new members.
I'm not sure I mentioned during my announcements that either Rebecca or I will be sitting at a table out there with forms that you can fill out to buy tickets to the auction or make a donation. So look for us out there. Our reading today is by Henry Nouwen, and his first name actually has an I on the end, not a Y, but he's Dutch, so I think he pronounced it Henry, and he was a Catholic priest. Prayer is not introspection. Introspection means to look inward, to enter the complex network of our mental processes in search of some inner logic or some elucidating connections. Introspection results from the desire to know ourselves better and to become more familiar with our own interiority. Although introspection is a positive role in our thought processes, there is a danger that it may entangle us in a labyrinth of our own ideas, feelings, and emotions and lead us to an increasing self-preoccupation. Introspection often causes paralyzing worries and unproductive self-gratification. Introspection has the potential to create moodiness, and this moodiness is a very widespread phenomenon in our society. It betrays our great concern with ourselves and our undue sensitivity to all our thoughts and feelings. It leads us to experience life as a constant fluctuation between feeling high and feeling low, and between good days and bad days, and thus becomes a form of narcissism. Prayer is not introspection. It is not scrupulous, inward-looking analysis of our own thoughts and feelings, but it is an attentiveness to the presence of love, personified, inviting us to an encounter. Prayer is the presentation of our thoughts, reflective, as well as daydreams and night dreams, to the one who receives them, sees them in the light of unconditional love, and responds to them with divine compassion. This context of thinking in the presence, of conversation and dialogue with love, is the joyful affirmation of our gentle companion on the journey with God, who knows our minds and hearts, our goodness and our beauty, our darkness and our light.
And I am willing.
wonderful song. Thank you so much, choir. That was amazing. Some disparaging words about prayer. Before I start this sermon, or as I start this sermon, the sermon's about me. It's about religious trauma. It's about the pain of what we grow up with, those of us who came from conservative faiths. And it truly encompasses very many disparaging words about prayer. I wasn't a popular child. I wasn't well understood, and in many ways I'm still not. I was a very different child, and that made me a very lonely child. I would lie in bed at night and pray. I prayed hard, I prayed often, I prayed in my isolation, I prayed in my depression, I prayed when I felt alone, I prayed through tears, I prayed, and I begged God for an answer. I remember looking up through tears, just asking for a sign that I was not alone in this world that didn't make sense. I prayed to no avail, and I never received a response. I read my Bible. I remember Gideon in the book of Judges, who prayed to God. God demanded something of Gideon, so Gideon demanded something of God. He said, if you're with me, I will leave this fleece out. If it's dry in the morning, I believe that you'll be with me. Well, the next day, he leaves the fleece out, and it's dry. So he says again, if you leave this fleece out, or I'll leave this fleece out, and if it's wet, I know you'll be with me. And the fleece is wet the next morning. God answered Gideon's prayer. I remember Abram, who was visited by 3 angels in the name of God. I remember Samuel, who was taken to the temple as a child. And he was taken to stay with the priest Eli. And one night Samuel heard someone calling his name. And he went, Eli, why are you calling my name? And Eli said, I'm not saying anything. 3 times Samuel goes to Eli until Eli finally understands that it's God calling Samuel. I remember Saul on the road to Tarshish in Syria and was blinded by the light of God when God comes down and Jesus says, Saul, why do you persecute me? I read all the stories. I knew them. I was inundated with these stories. How could I not be? They were from Sunday school. I heard about them in the sermons I was told I had to listen to. I was reminded of them in storytelling over and over again, and I couldn't help but lie and listen to those stories. And I would lie there in bed at night and say to God, I'm doing my part. Why aren't you doing yours? And was left to think that maybe I just wasn't important enough to respond to. So I sought to become important. Then God would know me. Then I would be the most faithful and God would answer. And over time, this came to be rejection. And this rejection would cause me great pain. And when I reflected on those nights, I couldn't help but think maybe, just maybe, when I reflect back as an adult on those nights, I think maybe, just maybe, I was being set up to fail. But I think the problem was not that I believed in the magic of prayer, but that the locus of prayer was only internal, and I believe the power of prayer was external. See, I believe prayer was something I did, and the answer was something God gave. And I believe this because all the evidence from all the research I had done to that point in my 10-year-old life, in my Bible in Sunday school, in the sermons that I'd had to listen to, gave me this sense that somebody should be answering. Sadly, that sense would stay with me much longer than I would have liked it to. For far too many years, I interpreted silence as judgment and rejection. Now this is the point in the sermon where I say but. But when I learned what prayer was, it fixed it. But when I realized prayer was X, Y, Z, it made sense. But I had it wrong. How could God be wrong? How could God reject me? And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that today, at least not right here. It felt like rejection as a child based on everything I was taught about prayer. So it was rejection. And I learned so much about prayer in my life. But what I still struggle with is that internal voice that keeps telling me silence is judgment. But these are disparaging words about prayer, and it's fairly dour, and I can't have a sermon that is completely dour. So I'm going to take a minute here and quote Madonna. And if you don't know Madonna, the singer, the pop singer, just listen to the words as poetry, and we'll get to what they mean here in a minute. Madonna sings, "Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name and it feels like home. When you call my name, it's a little prayer. I'm down on my knees, I want to take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. Just like a prayer, you know I'll take you there. I hear your voice. It's like an angel sighing. I have no choice. I hear your voice, and it feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling. Out of the sky, I close my eyes. Heaven help me." Like a Prayer by the pop singer Madonna came out in 1989. What's important about this point is that it came out when I was 10 years old. Now, immediately I would recommend that you all not do the math. We don't need to know where you were when I was 10 years old or where anyone else was when I was 10 years old. We just need to know that while I was praying alone to no avail in my bedroom at night, Madonna was singing about prayer and getting a lot of press. Some people did not like that song. The words act as double entendre, let's be honest. She's paralleling this feeling of holiness that comes with religious imagery to an intimate relationship with another person. In the video, and if you've ever seen the video, you know this, did not make people more comfortable with the song. Back in this day when this song came out, Pepsi gave Madonna $5 million to use this song for an ad campaign. But after the video came out and Pope John Paul II called all Catholics to boycott Pepsi and all brands that interacted with the song, Pepsi got a little nervous. They stopped using the song and they let Madonna keep the $5 million. This rocketed the song to the top 10. I think it finished out at number 3 on the charts in Billboard. But for me, it's the words of the song that mean something very important. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. It's easy as UUs who tend to be rational and don't apply to the, let's say, more traditional concepts of God, if we apply to them at all, to simply think of prayer as that we can simply think of prayer as reflection and introspection. And though these may be part of it, I think even for us, that's a bit too anemic in understanding. But even then, I know that my introspection is not always the healthiest of introspecting. That's why I chose this Henry Nouwen reading for the sermon. Because though introspection can be positive, well, let's go with Nouwen here. Prayer is not introspection. Introspection means to look inward, to enter into the complex network of our mental processes in search of some inner logic, some elucidating connections. Introspection results from the desire to know ourselves better and become more familiar with our own interiority. Although introspection is a positive role in our thought processes, there is a danger that it may entangle us in a labyrinth of our own ideas. I love that phrase. It may entangle us in a labyrinth of our own ideas, feelings, and emotions, and lead us to increasing self-preoccupation. Introspection often causes paralyzing worries or unproductive self-gratification. Nouwen, a Catholic priest, struggled to reconcile his faith with his depression his entire life. See, I know that journey. I understand that journey. That journey has become my life's work. Nouwen obviously believes in the positivity of introspection, but highlights the dangers that I understand. The idea that introspection might tangle us in a labyrinth of our own ideas, feelings, and emotion makes complete sense to me. In fact, I could do, if you don't mind me saying so, I could do with a little less introspection in my life. He says introspection often causes paralyzing worries or unproductive self-gratification. Introspection has the potential to create moodiness, and this moodiness is a very widespread phenomenon in our society. It betrays our great concern with ourselves and our undue sensitivity. It's all our thoughts and feelings. It leads us to experience life as a constant fluctuation between feeling high and feeling low, and between good days and bad days, and thus becoming a form of narcissism. Prayer is not introspection. And I don't know if you've ever felt that, or felt this, or if it's just me that... anyone else here ever rerun the whole day when you go to bed at night? Relive every moment of shame that ever took place in your entire life? Anyone else get yourself stuck in rumination on sorrow? Thinking maybe if I was just a little smarter, I could have said it differently or better. Maybe if I was a little better, people wouldn't have responded the way they did. Maybe if I wasn't so blasted stupid, we would be better off. See, these are often the fruits of my introspection, which may better be called rumination, and this form of introspection can be toxic. For some of us, introspection, when taken too far, becomes a barrage of negative self-talk, and that is not prayer either. Nouwen says prayer is presentation of our thoughts, reflective as well as daydreams and night dreams, to the one who receives them, sees them in light of uncontrolled love, and responds to them in divine compassion. What I struggle still to understand is that prayer is like a letter that is directed towards something that represents pure and unalienating love. And on my best day, that letter does not come to me. Oh, I can forgive others almost anything because other people are just human, but myself? That I need something to give me permission to forgive myself, right? To give me an excuse for my forgiveness for my own failures. I don't know if anyone else ever feels that. I would have preferred, when I became Unitarian Universalist, to write off prayer as a whole. I would have preferred to leave it behind, but for some reason with this job, I am often asked to pray in many forums. But even more than that, I still pray to the great unknown, because to do otherwise would be to be ruled by my religious trauma. I'm going to say that again. I still pray to the great unknown, because to do otherwise would be to be ruled by my religious trauma. And the only way to honor the 10-year-old kid who just wanted the answer is to heal that trauma. And the only way to do that is to pray, because it proves I am more than my trauma. But I do it differently than I used to. I do as many Unitarian Universalists do, and I think the word God a variable that I have the right to fill in with whatever the heck I want. And sometimes that variable is the unknown mover. Sometimes that variable is reminiscent of my heritage. Some days that variable is just the friends and family that are there to listen, to move towards me, to care about me. Because what I know is this: the entity to which I pray answers prayer through the people who love and give themselves to me as friends. Look, I'm not Jesus. I can't teach you to pray. I'm not the prophet that identifies to whom you should pray. I'm simply someone who prays because I have to. Because it's more like breathing. Like Madonna said, life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. Thank you. Our generosity recipient for the month of October is Meals on Wheels of Metro Tulsa. Meals on Wheels provides very important work to this community. If you were here for the forum, you would find out that they're not just feeding people, but they're trying to make sure people aren't alone. Shoot, they give people dog food as well. And it's good to support places like Meals on Wheels, because that's who we are as a people. We help feed those who are hungry. If you'd like to donate directly to Meals on Wheels, please put generosity in the check line that says memo, or put cash in the basket. Checks with no notation will be applied to your pledge or the operating fund, and there should be envelopes present somewhere if you would like to put cash in those envelopes. Those will also be attributed to the operating fund. So please give with hope for the future that we build.
When death approached,
We build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves at fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. We are ever bound in community. Our final hymn will be hymn number 318. Hymn number 318, We Would Be One. And I think we'll sing both verses. At this time, we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame. So as you go forth today, go in peace, go in love, and forever assist one another and be the answers to their prayers.
Strength.